Hello everybody, here I am filling in for Hayley. Hayley's away, as I think I've already mentioned. She's 7 weeks in Europe. There's a lot of Europe. I'm not sure which bit she's going to, but I'm sure she's having a fabulous time and a well-deserved rest, so you got me for a while. 7 weeks of me. You've already had one. This is my second. And if you're looking at the clock, by the way, those who are watching on the telly, many of you are listening on the radio. That's great. Some of you are watching on the telly and going, but that's not the time. It's not even the right day. It's not. It's because I'm pre-recording this on Thursday, because tomorrow, or when you're watching today, is Good Friday. I'm doing this on Fairly Good Thursday. So that's why the clock is lying. All right, so I'm going to, hang on, my notices are way over here. Talk about prepared. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you, let's talk about the markets first. Because we've got a number of markets in the Wairarapa that are all fabulously worth going to, because it's great to have local produce, isn't it? Apart from the fact that it's fresh, you might know the people who've produced it. It's also good because you're not using up, you're not creating a massive carbon footprint getting it here. It hasn't had to go shoom across the world on a plane, spewing aviation fuel. You haven't gone on a great container across the sea. You haven't gone, not you personally, the produce, over the Remataka on a big truck. You have been produced here, and that's a great thing. And I think we need to think about that more and more. In fact, we've got a program on Arrow FM called Global Warning. It's just on for 2 weeks. It's a group of concerned citizens who've started a pop-up shop, and they're there right now. Well, not perhaps when you're watching it on Good Friday, but they are there all throughout the normal weekdays for 2 weeks, and it's at a place, little pop-up shop right next to Iberia on Queen Street, over the road from the pictures, Regent 3. So it's a fascinating shop. They've done it up very well, and they've got great displays, and they've got audio-visual stuff going on, and they are doing some recordings while they're there. Interesting, knowledgeable people are passing through, and they're getting interviews with them, editing it into a radio program and playing it on Arrow FM. But when are they playing it? Let me look at our schedule. It gets played every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. It's a different show each time. It's not a repeat. At, what time is it? There they are, 6 o'clock. 6 and 6. Let me just make sure of that. Yep, it's 6 o'clock, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday for a couple of weeks. Well worth listening to that. Which brings me back to the markets, because that's a great thing, isn't it? We're not endangering the planet by producing locally and selling locally. So good on them, the people at the various markets right throughout the Wairarapa. The one in Masterton is at the end of Queen Street, where the farriers is, just before the big Millennium sculpture before you go out of town. You can get in the car park through the Chapel Street entrance opposite the fire brigade, and once you're in there, it's great. They've got covers there, so and the picnic tables, they're underneath the willow trees, so you can sit and enjoy a coffee, something to eat, listen to live music, and you get to take this quality produce home, delicious produce grown seasonally within the Wairarapa region. You don't want to grow things unseasonably. Like we had some unseasonable broccoli in our garden just recently. Well, it was a perfectly good time to grow them, but it was also a good time for the white butterfly to lay all their eggs, and just got so overtaken with caterpillars. They know how to do it, though. They get it right, these people. So, where else? Well, in Carterton, they've got a farmer's market, and this time they're having a special Easter market on Sunday. Oh, did I mention Saturday? The The one in Masterton, Saturday, 9 till 1. The one in Carterton is a Sunday market, and this time it's a special Easter market. 9 till 12:30 on Sunday, held in the centre of town in Memorial Square. And they've got a special feature market this time, what with it being Easter, with entertainment, music and activities for the kids. Where's a bit further down to Featherston, or just stay there if you already live there. And 33 Fitzherbert Street, you've got the Featherston Weekly Market. They start a bit earlier. They start at 8 o'clock in the morning and they run until 2 o'clock. And it offers the same sort of stuff. Fresh produce. I think I meant fresh. Fresh produce, fine food produced, and much more. Great atmosphere, amazing food, and community spirit. So those are the markets. There is one in Martinborough, and I think this time it'll be all in conjunction with the Balloon Festival. So I'll tell you a bit about that when we talk about the Balloon Festival. Meanwhile, I want to just relax, hunker down, listen to a bit of Sade, because she's wonderful. This is Cherish the Day. That's what I'm going to do now.
And I breathe your show me how deep love can be. Show me how deep love can be. This is my prayer. I cherish the day I won't go astray. I won't be afraid. Won't run away, won't shy. Cherish the day I won't go astray. Cherish the day. I cherish the day. I cherish the day.
Sade there, cherishing the day. Me too. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm certainly enjoying it a bit more since Sade started singing. Alright. I thought I'd do a bit of a special on what's happening at the Featherston Community Centre. I won't do a big kind of in-depth thing. I'm just going to run through all the events that they have on their weekly kind of things so that you can go, oh, that's interesting. I must follow that up. So, the Featherston Worn Cloth Collective do a workshop every Friday from 10 till 2, including this Friday. So, yep. What do? They make fun items from recycled clothes and fabric, and you can learn new sewing skills. So that's at the Featherston Community Centre, which is 14 Wakefield Street, Featherston. Art for Everyone is on Mondays, 7 p.m. Mahjong is on... I don't know why I laughed. Just because I bet you I'd be really bad at Mahjong. Maybe I ought to go to this. Mahjong is on at the Featherston Community Centre from 1 o'clock on Mondays. The Featherston Wahine singers will be singing and being mellifluous at the Featherston Community Centre on Tuesdays from 7. Choral and vocal music. Great. Well, I get it. Yep. I was going to modify that, but that's pretty much what it is. Community art is on every Tuesday 10 in the morning at the community centre. Hatha yoga with Nikki on there on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. And I think I got my pages all around. There we go. The ukulele group is on Wednesdays from 1 o'clock. So a couple of things that are on there at the Featherston Community Centre, which is in Wakefield Street in Featherston. Now, the 25th, isn't it, is Anzac Day, 25th being Thursday. So in Featherston, since we're there, they're having their civic service, which members of the public cordially invited to attend this. The 2019 Anzac Day Civic Service is held at the historic Anzac Hall, followed by a short march to the Featherston Cenotaph for the wreath laying, and after that, morning tea and other refreshments at the Featherston War Memorial RSA. The Featherston Memorial RSA. So, first of all, Featherston Anzac Hall, which is on Bell Street in Featherston, on Thursday, 10:20. No, 9 o'clock until 10:20. You turn up at 10:20, too late. That's when the march happens. Big one coming up is the Balloon Festival. I think we need some music before we have that, don't you? So, what do we got? I've got some Van Morrison here, Astral Weeks. What have we got? I think we've got Sweet Thing. Let's have a listen to Sweet Thing. Off you go, Van.
clear, clean water for to quench my thirst. And I'll show out the ferry boats and they'll get high on the blue ocean against tomorrow's sky. And I will never grow so old again. And I will walk and talk in gardens all wet with rain. Oh, oh. Sweet thing, sweet thing. Yeah. Sweet thing. Well, I shall drive my chariot down your streets and cry. Oh, it's beyond dynamite and I don't know why. And you shall take me strongly in your arms again. And I will remember that I ever felt the pain. We shall walk and talk in gardens all misty wet, a misty wet with rain down. And I will never grow so old again. Ooh, 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 you sweet thing. Ooh, 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 you sweet thing, you sweet thing. My, 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 my. And I will raise my hand up into the nighttime sky and count the stars that shine in your eyes. That's just to dig it all, not to wonder, that's just right. And I'll be satisfied not to read in between the lines. And I will walk and talk in gardens all wet with rain. And I will never, ever, ever, ever grow so old again. Oh, oh, sweet thing. Oh, 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 sugar baby. Oh, oh, sweet thing. Sugar baby. Sugar baby, sugar baby. What is champagne I had?
Van Morrison from Astral Weeks. What is it called? That sweet something. Geez, my mind, you know, it's sweet thing. I knew it was something. All right, let's talk about the balloon festival. That's the Wairarapa Balloon Festival. That's it there. Yep. And I'm going to struggle a bit because the lettering is kind of fluoro pink on blue. I'll do the best I can. All right. Well, since in my life, right at the moment, it's Thursday, but in your lives, it's Friday at the very earliest, I should jump to the Friday events. We've already had the first flight. That was great. I saw them. And the Burners Parade, which will be last night, if you know what I mean. We got the mass ascension from Carrington Park in Carterton on Friday. It starts at 7 in the morning. Worth getting up for because, you know, a mass ascension of all those balloons. I was talking to somebody today who said he looked up in the sky and there was a whole house up there. I was thinking, if you had a whole house up there, why didn't you could put up a coffee bar and a supermarket, and you could just move around in your balloon doing all your shopping. Just a thought. Anyway, the mass ascension is in Carrington, from Carrington Park in Carterton from 7 o'clock on Friday. Today, kind of. All right, Saturday, we've got the Park to Paddock Challenge. That's in Memorial Park in Greytown. Also from 7 o'clock, Park to Paddock. Those challenges, I remember sometimes they used to do it at Henley Lake. They have all these quite difficult manoeuvres to do, sort of going down low and picking something up and taking it somewhere else, and quite tricky. And they're not... Just think about it, a balloon, it's not as if you've got reverse thrusters and bloody steering wheel and stuff. You just have to really know the wind and know how much hot air to into your canopy. It's difficult stuff. Anyway, quite a big one is the Trust House Night Glow. That's on Saturday night from 3 o'clock until 7:30. So it's a magical evening. Obviously, for the whole family, you can all be there and you can be wowed. Tell you what, don't take your dogs or your horses, your donkeys, your mules. Animals can get freaked out by that. When Mr. Potato Head used to go over our garage, we used to live just opposite Makota College, and they used to land there, so they were quite low coming over our garage, and you could chat to the people without raising your voice. But the dog went nuts. Imagine if you're an animal and you don't know what it is, and Mr. Potato Head is looming over the garage at you. Anyway, so don't take your dogs. So, plenty going on there, though, as well as the balloons. Leading up to it, you've got roving stilt walkers, costume characters, the Camp Quality Kids Zone, and live music by Shenanigans, who will have everyone up dancing. That sounds like it's compulsory. All right, everybody up dancing now, or there'll be hell to pay. So you can bring the whole family, enjoy the show, pack a picnic, or you can purchase some of the food and drink that's on sale from all the food vendors around the place. Ticket prices, well, if you go online, it's a little bit cheaper. Adults $10, children $5, and if you're a preschooler, free. You can get a family pass for $25, 2 adults, 2 children, and it's a little bit more, not a lot more, but it's a bit more. Well, $15 for an adult, and a family pass is $30. So it's like, $5 more if you pay at the gate. But, you might not know exactly what you're doing that day, and you might have to do that. That's okay. Parking is free. It's on site at Judd's Road or Fleet Street, and they've got Rotary volunteers there that can ensure that everybody gets a car park easily. So just follow their directions. They know what they're doing. There'll be traffic management also for when you leave. So pretty good, really. You can follow their Facebook page if you want to come up with news and events for the whole deal, because things might change. So you go onto Facebook and put in Wairarapa Balloon Festival. There you are. And then they'll let you know the bad weather backup or the postponement day is Sunday. So that's a pretty big one. The Trust House Night Glow. You've got all of those balloons with going on fire and then blowing up, and not blowing up, you know what I mean, inflating. On Easter Sunday, you've got the Balloon Festival at Te Karanga Market in Martinborough. 89 Martins Road is where they are. So they lift off for a bit of a meander around the place, and you see them fly over the town square, and you could stick around and go to the market from 9 o'clock for breakfast there, with balloon pilots there. You can chat to balloon pilots, and there's all that great local produce and stuff at the stalls. So that's a bunch of balloon festival stuff. There's usually a big final event, isn't it? Yeah, the farewell flight. The farewell flight is on Monday, 7 o'clock in the morning. Again, get up early because it's worth it, from the Wairarapa College playing fields. And all the pilots hop in their balloons and they take off for the last flight of the festival. I was going to say you wouldn't want to miss it, but you can't miss it because they're just up there. But if you go to all the different events, then that really adds to the whole experience. So you want to do that. Should we have some more music? I think I've got Led Zeppelin. Yeah, Led Zeppelin. Let's have a listen to them with What Is and What Should Never Be. Does that sound all right? Let's do that.
And if I say to you tomorrow, take my hand, child, come with me. It's to a castle I will take you, where what's to be, they say, will be. I guess the wind sails, spin, sail away, leave the day way up high in the sky. And won't, but the wind won't blow. We really shouldn't go. It only goes to show that you will be mad by taking our time. And if you say to me tomorrow, oh, what fun it all would be, then what's to stop us, pretty baby? But what is and what should never be? I catch the wind, see it spin, sail away, leave the day way up high in the sky. Really shouldn't go, only goes to show that you will be mad by taking our are still as new, and happiness is what you need so bad. Girl, it's alive with you, yeah. I catch the wind, see it spin, sail away, leave the day way up high in the sky. And but the wind won't blow, we really shouldn't go. It only goes to show that you will be mine by taking our time.
Led Zeppelin there, What Is and What Should Never Be, apparently. Well, really it's all about the balloon festival, but there are a couple of other things on, and probably some things that I haven't found out about. But one that I think is worth going to, well, they're all worth going to, because everything's tailored to your specific tastes, isn't it? And this might be one for you. Race the Rock at Riven Rock, which is on the Mount Holdsworth Road, Carterton. On Saturday, from 9:30 till 4, it's a 3-lap circuit race, half climb, half descent. Yeah, you know the sort of thing. Right, women's and children's races, and men's. You climb up through Langland's Loop and the switchbacks of Pinball, then back down through the berms and rollers. Prices for the podium places and a barbecue for all. The Riven Rock Mountain Bike Park. So it's a mountain bike thing. You're not on your feet. You're going up the hill. It's not as dangerous as that, I bet. That's what they do in the bloody world events, but this is just having fun. To enter, email rivenrockmtb, all one word, rivenrockmtb@gmail.com, or just get onto Facebook and look up at rivenrockmtb. It's part of the Wairarapa summer of cycling. 9:30 till 4 o'clock at the Riven Rock Mountain Bike Park, which is on Mount Holdsworth Road, Carterton. Right. At Club Wairarapa, this coming Wednesday, you've got the Wairarapa Rockers. Yep, they're a group of people who like to meet once a week and learn beginner's steps to rock and roll. Starting at 7:15, after that, they start an intermediate class. So that's the beginners at 6 o'clock, 7:15, intermediate class to learn rock and roll moves to form routines. So get together and let's dance. Let's dance. Pretty much it. Oh, I got a notice from the Ministry Office for Seniors, because they're encouraging people to have their say on a new draft strategy being developed to ensure that New Zealand is a great place to age. Is anywhere a great place to age? Yeah, aging's all right, but, it's a bit sore sometimes. Anyway, for the Minister for Seniors, Tracy Martin, launched the draft strategy Better Later Life, He Oranga Kaumātua, 2019 to 2034. Not sure if I'll be around for that end date. So they want a bit of feedback from you, so get on to the Super Seniors website, which is www.superseniors@msd.gov.nz. If you, like me, are an aged person, you probably get their newsletter anyway, but if not, that's what you do. Get onto the Super Seniors site, because you might not be a super senior now, but you will be one day probably. So your opinion counts. Get on there and let them know what you think of their draft strategy. Pretty much it from me. I'll be back next week to tell you a few more things. Featherston Booktown's coming up, right? But that doesn't start until next week. Now, their kind of open, launchy thing. No, they've already had their launch, but their opening day is the 10th, and we're holding an event on the 10th, so we're kind of in competition, but, it just means that there's more stuff happening. What we're doing at Arrow FM is, you may remember that we had a community listening event in February of a couple of stories from the Migrant Journeys series, where New Zealand taxi drivers tell about the amazing journeys that they've made just to get to this country, and some of the things that have happened since they've become New Zealanders. So successful, we're doing it again. It's a free event, although we'd love to have some koha because it's going to cost us a bit to mount it. It's at Aratoi, the 10th of May. It's a way away yet. I'll talk about it next week, but just giving you a heads up. And it will be a great event. We've got Helmi Al-Khattat from Iraq and Sukhdev Singh Bains from the Punjab, and there we will hear a fully produced, recorded storytelling from them. They will be physically there too for a question and answer session afterwards. Adrian Jansen presenting a book on migrant poetry. Possibly Diane Comer, who's recently written or, I don't know, authored a book about migrant essays called Braided Rivers. Fascinating event and really compelling. I just find it amazing to be in a room full of people concentrated on just listening to the same thing. It was dynamic and a wonderful event you wouldn't want to miss. So don't miss it, all right? I'll tell you more about it next time. Let's have a bit more of Sade. I think I'm going to play that famous one, No Ordinary Love. Here you go, Sade.
Gave
been great being with you today, whatever day that is, and listening to this fabulous music. This is Sade playing away underneath me, and I'm pretty much going to say goodbye now. So thanks for being with me, and I hope you enjoy the Balloon Festival, and those of you going to the Anzac commemorations and the various other events that are around about the place. Lots happening in the Wairarapa. Right. Talk to you next week. Bye.